on modeling the God kind of attitude to the partner, but not forcing change. And I say, now wow. There's people that when you get them angry, they just lock up, they don't talk. And you're like, wow, how am I going to be safe for this person? It's the person's temperament. So that you can understand that this is the person you marry, this is the person you have chosen. Is the person a giver? There are people who are very stingy. And the truth is, love gives. You have been in a relationship with this person for 1 good year. You are the one making excuses. He's broke, that's why. She's broke. You don't understand. He's not working. That's why he has not bought me anything. When people say that, I just laugh. Because even if it's as little as sweets, it's a gift. You can't be so broke not to be able to buy someone sweets. I met my husband broke. If you follow us very well, I've said this a couple of times. The only property my husband had when I met him was a laptop. I even started flying when I met him. I was already traveling and even traveled out and all that. But I met him broke. He was hustling, but he was broke. I say he was diligently broke. But he was broke on something. I tell people, don't marry a lazy man. The man can be lazy. The man can be hardworking, but broke. They are not the same. So my husband was very hardworking, but he was broke. He was very focusedly broke. So I met him. And despite the fact that he didn't really have compared to me then, but he would buy me something. He was making efforts. He bought me wristwatch. He would buy me things, biscuits. And also you too, position yourself and appreciate the things that they give you. Don't start comparing. I buy. Just see what your mates are buying. Leave the guys, not by force. Praise God. So give gifts, money, time. Is your share giver? Study these things so that you will know who you are going. There are people who are very rich, but they are stingy. They don't buy anything. They won't give you anything. What are you doing there? Praise God. Then how do you get to his heart? Popularly said, you hear this thing of the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. When I got married, I told my husband, my husband was telling me then when we were in a relationship, said, listen, I'm not really keen on a lady who cooks. I just want a lady who is out there. Because we talked about all of these things. But I thought it was just talking, joking. That kind of thing, someone tells you something, you think it's just talking lightly. So I got married and I had this mindset, my mother, buy tray, royal glasses, she bought me things, even mortar. When I was going to get married, mortar, grinding stone, my mother bought all those things as part of my traditional wedding gifts. She said, when you have to serve your husband, cook for him regularly. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Have you not heard those things? But by the way, my kind of husband, the way to his heart is not through stomach. You'll be wasting your time. Because he will tell you, I can get good food anywhere. Yeah, they're generics. There are things that the male gender generally likes, which is respect. But beyond the general things that a male gender or a female gender likes, you need to go beyond what is general and study your own man, your own woman. So I realized that my husband doesn't like even eating with tray. He doesn't. You serve him food in a tray. I used to get angry and go, man, what kind of bushman are you? But that's him. He was used to, he's been used to. I told you, I got married to this man was almost 29. Before I got married to him, when he's eating, he eats by his side of his laptop. He does everything on the floor. This is me serving him. We got married. I served him tray. I put his food on the dining table. Dining table. Everything, fork. When I say fork on your left, fork on your left, spoon on your right with knife. I put all the cutleries coming. My guy moved everything from the tray, sat on the floor. And said, eating. I'm like, what? So, and then he's not keen on, in fact, I remember times then, I'll cook from morning till next week, I'm so tired. He said, why have you not done this? You didn't get to your laptop, you didn't do this. And I said, I'm really tired, I've been cooking. He said, what are you cooking for? I was so mad. So what are you cooking for? You're just busy cooking, no purpose. You don't have a purpose? I'm serious. That's what my husband told me. I was cooking. And listen, please, just in case you're married here or you're journey to get married, don't now go and say, you see that Pastor Anwinli, and now look at what her husband said. Know your own. So men love it. They don't accommodate any other person cooking for them. They must be their wife. And the man is not bad. It's what he likes. He didn't force you to like him. So my own husband, I went into that with the mindset, and I saw my mom do it for my father. Iron clothes, do all. So I'm like, I've been trained. My husband said, he said, don't I have purpose in my life? He said he wants a wife out there. Then I used to see it as insult, not anymore. He said, I need a wife out there. A woman is out there, they're calling her name. That's the wife I'm looking for. That is the wife I married. You have it on your inside. And so he was the one who had to make a call, called someone to come and start cooking in my house. I just felt like, that's it. So you must study your own partner. Don't go with the general formula. This is how men like it. I remember somebody coming to meet us for counseling. I said, I don't know why women process it. My husband said, no, my own wife, she doesn't process. I even used to wonder if things get to her. So it's not a woman thing. You need to study your own woman. That's her peculiarity. So you must study so that you don't go with wrong expectations, or you don't go with a kind of wrong mindset, and you're trying to do the things that they did not send you. You know, the reason, and I've studied it, that the reason why we experience failed marriages is that you try to study you, not study your partner. You try to study you, not study your partner. For example, let me give you this example. Between myself and my husband, if I rant, if I vent, and you tell me you are sorry, it's over. Sometimes I don't even talk about it. When you just say, I am sorry, that's it. But my husband, I learned through him, there's an art of apology. You are sorry for this. You know what? Sweet, last month, when I did this. Then you don't end there. You have to see that he has taken the sorry. So you now sit down with him. Say, are you okay now? Are you fine? Rub his back. Sweetheart, how do you feel now? And thank God he's not here, I'm talking. How do you feel? That's my husband. So at the early years of our marriage, he would tell me, you don't know me. For example, we have an issue. I've said, I am sorry. The next day, I'm seeing somebody say, sweet. In my mind, we have resolved an issue. And it's like, sweet? I'm like, the way you called my name. He said, hurry up, brother, let's go to church. I'm like, is everything okay? He said, you didn't know what you did yesterday. I said, but we've talked about it. He says, that is you. We've talked. So when you say you are sorry, that's it. We've talked. I say, wait. And we had different communication analysis reviewing our marriage. And I realized that, Anwinli, you are using you in marriage, in marrying him. You are using you you are studying you, not studying him. You are using you to relate with him. So I said, wow, interesting. So I started studying him. He said, you don't know me. You think this is... Even, in fact, sometimes my apology way, or the way I apologize, is I buy gifts for my husband. I won't even say thank you, love you, like a return back, that kind of thing. He said, you think I'm like you? I don't want gifts. I want communication. I'm like, but... So I realized that was you, because many times we study ourselves more than we study our partner. And you want to treat your partner the way you want to be treated. And it's wrong. So many times we end up having failed marriages and hearing, you don't love me, you don't know me, you don't do this. Because why? You study yourself more than you study the person you are married to or you are going to get married to. So I had to learn. It took me 5 years of torture to know that when I say I'm sorry, I'm still even learning it, because sometimes I'm like, what is it, Seth? You know, but I'm learning that when I say I am sorry, it should not end there. I'm sorry for this, that. And then I go to meet him, do all of the things necessary, and see to it that I am really sorry. Praise God. And my last point on that personality, is he or she teachable? Is he or she teachable? Is he or she teachable? Some people never want to learn. They have learned enough. Is he or she teachable? There are men who tell you they don't need to submit to anybody. Fear those men. There are women who tell you they know it all. In fact, let's even leave the mentorship. You are talking to a lady, you're talking to a man about something you think is right. The person tells you what you know and even gets angry. You know, there are men that you cannot tell, you can correct. And a man who is not teachable cannot lead because he has to be taught to lead. There are men you can't correct them. You can't tell them, oh, your dressing is somehow, even in the how, because some people say, oh, it's a mannerism. I've seen guys, men, they come to counseling room. I'll ask them, say, well, how did she tell you this? In a very nice way, but no, how can she correct me? Who is she? Then you now, if, for example, the woman is now higher in degree of finance, what right does she have? Is it because she has PhD?